Alright guys, I am back with another horror collection video. I got 6 titles I want to talk about today, 4 Witcher movies and 2 TV box sets. So I'm going to start with the TV series first, and we have In the Flesh. Now the plot of this one is very similar to Warm Bodies. Basically there was a zombie outbreak, but in this case the scientists had developed a cure, as opposed to Warm Bodies that had that really fuzzy non-science explanation why they would turn back human again. So they developed this cure which is taken in pure form, and the plot of this series basically is you have a young man who used to be a zombie who's been given his cure, and he's been deemed that he's been well enough to go back to his family. So he goes back to his family in this town. Only problem is that these militias that were roaming around since the zombie apocalypse originally happened are still around, but now they've been hunting down people that have been given the cure. So it's this whole thing is, are people going to find out? Are they going to, take him out and kill him? And that's basically the plot of this series. This one aired on Space Channel in Canada. I think it was Sci-Fi in the US, and of course BBC in Britain. I did see the first episode of this, and I really did enjoy this one a fair bit. But for some reason I didn't watch the rest of the episodes. The first season only had 3 of them, so I don't know how I ended up missing. It's only like 180 minutes on this disc here. So I kind of feel silly for not watching the other 2 hours, but I did enjoy the first hour though. And I also picked up season 2, which I think went for 6 episodes, but I think this is where the series ended. Hopefully, I think it may have been canceled, but hopefully this has like a definitive end to this series as opposed to just stopping. I won't know until I actually watch it. So if you have seen this series, then let me know if it does have an ending or if it just gets to a series season cliffhanger and then it ends there. Who knows? But I'm happy to have it. I like my zombie stuff, so this one looks really good too. Alright, now on to the movies. Alright, first up we have The Green Inferno. Really did enjoy this film. I know some people didn't, but I was never really a big fan of like the cannibal films from the early 80s, like Cannibal Holocaust and Cannibal Ferox. The one I liked the most actually was Jungle Holocaust. I thought that was like the best one out of most of these films that came out at the time. This one has like a group of college kids that go to the rainforest because they want to stop the loggers from tearing down the trees and destroying the natural habitat. But they run afoul of this cannibal tribe, and it's basically them trying to survive the cannibals. There's some really good gory deaths early on in this film. I do like this film a fair bit. I think this might be my favorite Eli Roth movie. I didn't like Knock Knock that much, so this might actually be it. I don't know. I liked the first Hostel movie. Alright, so moving on, we have Like Fear. And this is a kind of an interesting movie. I picked this one up because I read that it was inspired by The Evil Dead. And I think this was really more inspired by the remake, much more so than the original film, which I thought was kind of odd because the original Evil Dead didn't inspire too many knockoff movies. I think the closest one was that Scalp was the closest one to an Evil Dead knockoff, but there wasn't really much in the way of that. So basically, you got these girls. I think there's like 4 or 5 of them. They go to this cabin and they get possessed, but it gets kind of fuzzy. Like I fell asleep watching this a little bit because it really didn't make much sense to me. They get to the cabin, they find an old style tape recorder and this creepy doll, and they play the tape recorder, and then they get possessed for some reason. I'm gonna have to go back and watch this one again. Like I did like the horror imagery in this one, but the problem was it had a shot on video look to it, and it kind of detracted from the movie for me. Now there is a commentary, so I might actually watch this one with the commentary just so I can hear them try to explain themselves what they're trying to do. And then another character gets introduced really late in the film. And the one thing that kind of bugged me, and it really shouldn't, but all the girls in this movie were fairly attractive, and none of them got naked. And that was like if you're making a low-budget movie, throw that in there just as a plus or something for people who want to see that. Not that, there's a rule or anything, but... Alright. Next, we have Estranged. I haven't really got a chance to watch this one yet, which is a shame. I probably should have watched it before making this video. But basically, this girl that, something happened to her, and she lost her memory, and then... Damn it. And she gets sent back to stay with her family. But there's obviously problems, and there's like a reason why she left her family. And And that's what this film's kind of about. I think she might even be been crippled by the accident that she was in. But I'm really looking forward to checking this one out. I do love the disc art on this release. Here you can kind of see here. It almost looks like there's masks on their face, but I think it's just like a drawing of her family here. So I'm really looking forward to checking this one out. And last up for this update, we have Sociopathia. This one kind of reminded me a little bit of May, except this girl is way crazier than the girl that was in May. I kind of fell asleep on this one too. Like, I did get 30 minutes in, so hooray for that. This one starts out like this girl has just finished making love to a woman she just picked up, and then the girl mentions her ex-girlfriend, and that set her off. So she kills the girl that she just had sex with and leaves her in her bed for a couple days because she's imagining she's still alive. And of course she has these creepy dolls. She's wearing creepy masks. I did quite enjoy this one. It's not very long. I suppose I didn't make it. It's only 86 minutes. So I need to go back and finish this one too and watch the other 50 minutes I may have missed out on. So I guess that's it, guys. For these last two films, when I get around to watch them, I might go back and review them just to get my thoughts on them. Alright guys, thanks for watching, and I'll talk to you all later.